Hi, my dear Astro family. So today we are going to be looking at the aspect of the week, and the main character for me this week is Chiron. One of the reasons is because Chiron is gonna go retrograde on 23 degree 32 minutes Aries. And it's going to be direct again on 29th of December on 19 degree of Aries. So it's going to be moving back 4 degree. The reason why I wanted to talk about Chiron, because actually it's making a yod configuration on the day when it turns retrograde. And it's going to be in yod with Pallas Athene and Juno. So I'm going to try to break it down for you. I recommend staying till the very end because this is going to be a very important teaching video, I believe. And on top of that, Chiron just recently had a T-square as well. And it's pretty much was with Pluto and the Sun. It, I kind of started on the 19th of December, maybe actually around the 16th of December, sorry, 16th of July, because then we had the Chiron and the Sun square on 23 degree, and it's a wide one, but we had the square to Pluto, and then the Sun started moving forward. So as soon as the Sun started hitting the 28 degree of Cancer, which is about the 20th of July, then this T square kind of got more emphasized. So Chiron has got quite a lot of role this week. So, but before we start, I've got a couple of places left on my predictive course. So if you are interested, drop me an email. This is going to be starting on the following weekend, and it will be 1 year course. And I'm going to be introducing 25 timing techniques. Some pay plan are available, so drop me an email if you are interested in the pay plan. So you would need to be paying a 6 monthly fee. And if you are interested just to book it in advance, then go ahead, check it out on my website. It's going to be a full-on course. You will take a lot away. I'm going to talk about chart interpretations as well, because obviously predictions made are impossible without any type of knowing your natal chart. So you do need to understand your natal chart a little bit. But let's get started with this Chiron retrograde. So technical infos, Chiron turns retrograde on 23:32 minutes in the sign of Aries. It's going to be retrograde until the 29th of December, and it's going to turn direct on 19 degree. So this is a longer period. Now, one of the reasons why I've chosen this as the aspect of the week, because it's making a yod configuration with Juno and Pallas Athene. So as you can see on the chart, we've got Juno on 25 degree of Virgo, and then we've got Pallas Athene on 20 degree of, hold on, I believe, made a little bit of a mistake, 20 degree of Scorpio. So we've got quite a yod configuration here. So let's start with some of the keywords of Chiron. Chiron is very much about not being accepted. Wherever it is in your chart, you might feel outcasted somehow. You might feel rejected in that area of your chart. Why is that? Because at birth, he was rejected. Therefore, often Chiron will represent mother issues in your chart. The mother rejected him because he was ugly. He was basically half human and half a animal. And the animalistic side of Chiron is very much about the survival and the self-preservation, while the human side is about the human consciousness. So we're going to have to learn with Chiron to embrace both of them at the same time. Now, Apollo and Pallas Athene raised him. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out, because obviously we've got this um yacht configuration where Pallas Athene is also involved. So Pallas Athene is going to be pretty much the stepmom here. And they taught him art, music, medicine, and he became a clairvoyant as well. So some of the keywords you might want to be remembering with Chiron: being accepted, your wounds, your trauma, your the way how you get victimized, the way you might suffer in that particular part of your chart. But he's also a healer. He's also a shaman, a mentor as well. Chiron might be showing you what you hate about yourself or what area of life you might be living in denial. And also, of course, this is going to talk to you about not just emotional pain, but physical pain as well at the same time. Chiron is also about the keeper of ancient routines. He is associated with animal welfare as well. At the same time, he does represent refugees, for example, in the mundane world. So I would say, oh, and then Chiron also is connected to herbs. But typically, Chiron represents your wounds in your childhood, the circumstances around your birth. When it comes to wounds, we've got two types of wounds, really. We've got the primal wounds, which we tend to be receiving as a child, and then we've got the wounds that we receive as an adult. But those childhood wounds are pretty much the reason why we get wounds as an adult as well. So one's primary wound is the result of a violation in early life that resulted in feeling of a non-being, non-accepted. Feelings of non-being tend to show up, in forms of loneliness, frustration, getting betrayed by someone, wanting to get isolated, or certain type of shame and fear. And Chiron is also associated with fear and shame as well at the same time. So whenever Chiron goes retrograde, there is this psychological invitation to turn inwards, to understand our greater pain, but also it gives you a possibility or ability to heal as well. And wherever Chiron is in your chart, you might be repeating the same self-defeating patterns. So Freud called it as the repetition compulsion, or it's also called as the trauma reenactment as well. So we do something repeatedly on a physical and emotional level, or whatever happened to us in the past, we repeat it in the future as well. We relive the past trauma in certain ways. Now, of course, we've got on one hand um, Juno involved in the picture, which is on 25 degree of Virgo. So first of all, what it pretty much talked to us about is that there are certain type of wounds, and maybe this is the reason why you attracted a certain type of partner into your life as well. And you might need to be able to realize whether how this partnership is trying to reveal some of your past traumas or wounds. How do these wounds get reflected in your experience with someone that you are committed to? And Juno is often about committed partnership rather than, just a friends and so forth. But because it's in the sign of Virgo, this could be talking to us about a business partner as well. But this Chiron Juno aspect is very much about working through certain type of challenges in the partnership, somehow maintaining that commitment or looking at whether this relationship works for me or not. I mean, maybe, for example, we want to be able to help our partner to get better physically, emotionally, psychologically, and so forth and so forth. Because often with Chiron, we are unable to heal our own wounds, but we are able to help others. So this might be an invitation to help our partner to heal or to ask our partner to heal us somehow. So assisting, and Juno is in the sign of Virgo, which is very much about being an assistant to someone or to a situation as well at the same time. Yes, sometimes what happens is Chiron can be quite karmic, so it feels like that we are going through a karmic phase in our relationship, for example. So it's meant to be this way. And remember, I said Chiron is about acceptance. So the question is, are we going to be accepting the so-called fate in our relationship, or are we going to be working on it, Virgo, to make it better, to fix it, or just to maintain? And if there are those unresolved wounds, then not working on those would indicate that unfortunately the relationship can go quite sour. So this is mainly an invitation to fix something that has been holding us back from moving forward. This also could indicate that, especially if you are single, that you have got this very strong desire to find a committed partner. But maybe your past wounds and traumas stand somehow in the way. And maybe Juno in Virgo wants to find someone who is in a way committed, has got obligations. They maintain security, for example, or someone who is dedicated and in a way hardworking as well. So you have got certain type of ideas. And by the way, this is an quincunx happening between Chiron and Juno. And quincunx is basically 6 signs away from each other. So it does bring up a lot of work-related matters, health-related matters, as well as trauma-related aspects as well. So surely we've got certain type of relationships to fix here. And maybe we just need to be able to be willing to actually face our own fears as well when it comes to romantic partnerships, because there might be certain type of insecurities. And this is the reason why we might be able to, or we might find it difficult to get in contact with others. Or maybe actually it's a little bit difficult for you to use your own wisdom, which is within you, to heal yourself, because you might feel that you are in a committed partnership and it's holding you back, or because I'm single and I'm too used to being single as well. And then what's going to happen is that I'm going to be projecting that onto, kind of like, I'm going to be compensating that with working extremely hard. You might be asking yourself the question, why I get attracted, for example, to wounded birds? Or why do I get into a relationship that triggers some of my personal wounds as well? Or why am I struggling to commit to someone? And maybe it's the realization that I'm afraid of being hurt. But once you realize that your potential, especially in the next 5 months, 6 months, to heal through certain type of relationships, then actually you are going to be starting this journey. And this is going to be doing a deep cleansing for you, which is extremely, extremely exciting. But at the same time, it starts with a lot of pain as well at the same time. And I would like to mention that to you as well. So this is something that is not necessarily easy. Now, the other participant is actually Pallas Athene. So let's have a look at the other side so that we can put things together. So Pallas Athene is the goddess of wisdom. She is extremely creative. She's all about strategic thinking, but it does represent a father-daughter relationship as well at the same time. And she's also the goddess of justice and warfare as well. One very interesting thing is that she was so smart when it came to creating a battlefield that she never lost any type of battle whatsoever. So, for example, Mars loved pairing up with her because it was pretty much a victory, no matter what. So Pallas Athene can represent victory in your chart when you are extremely smart, when you use the wisdom, and you have got all the strategy that you need. So, but Pallas Athene also represents the integration of intellect and intuition as well. It's like astrology. This is the reason why I tend to call Pallas Athene as the asteroid of astrology, because astrology is all about pattern recognition, and that's one of the most important keywords for Pallas Athene. But also, we need to be able to use a dash of intuition as well when we are reading a chart. So, but it's a lot of analyzing things with Pallas Athene. So, because Pallas Athene is in the sign of Scorpio at the moment, what we are meant to be analyzing is our traumas. We are meant to be analyzing our own fears. We meant to be looking at things such as what is holding us back. We meant to be looking at whether we can actually solve those problems that might be coming up with all our fears and so forth towards, for example, obsessiveness. Why am I obsessed with something? Why am I so relentless to try uncover hidden truth, for example? So obsessiveness could be a major keyword. And of course, when it comes to Juno, because Juno is in the picture as well, how do I manipulate my partner? How do I get manipulated by others as well at the same time? Do I use the psychological tools that I am gifted with so that I can see beneath the surface? Or am I just completely ignoring the fact? With Pallas Athene, it really feels like, because Pallas Athene is about win-win situations. So she never wanted to get into any type of battles unless it was necessary, though. So she wanted everyone to kind of become a winner. So here, how can we come up with a solution where I will win, but the partner is also going to win as well at the same time? So definitely, this Pallas Athene is telling us that we meant to be looking at ways to, in a creative ways, to find a solution to any type of relationship problems such as my partner, for example, is too secretive. Somehow we withhold information from each other. Why is that? So there is the element of suspicion coming into the picture with this. So when it comes to Chiron, this could actually indicate that we've got kind of like a conflicting energy here between healing and strategy. Maybe it's a little bit difficult for us to use our wisdom to transform our life and to be on that growing mindset or to go towards growth. Also, this could indicate that there is an element of kind of like conflict going on. We can call this as the aspect of conflict resolution. Let's just call it this way. So we need to be able to kind of like come up with a strategy here so that everyone can become the winner. We don't feel like a loser. Both of us are right in a way, and we are able to integrate wisdom and healing at the same time. Because with Pallas Athene, we need to understand something. We need to be able to understand the root of the pain in order for us to completely heal. But unfortunately, because often with an in conjunction or quincunx, to get on that healing journey is very difficult. And the reason why it could feel difficult is because we feel like in this relationship, there needs to be two to tango. And the friction could be here that one wants to heal and the other one is afraid of that healing process because it might be very painful. Or it could indicate that the other one is actually maybe thinking that there is nothing wrong with us. So often this comes with a lot of resistance, a lot of fear as well at the same time. Because Chiron is a mentor type of energy, as well as the pain. What could happen here is that we cannot see the right strategy because of the pain we struggle with. So to give you an example here, because we might not understand what I'm talking about, but what I'm trying to say here is that sometimes when we have got a painful situation in our life, we focus on that problem and we cannot see the bigger picture. And maybe there is an opportunity right in front of us. There must be an opportunity because Chiron and Juno are in sextile. So there is an opportunity, for example, to be signing a contractual agreement with someone or to be in a committed relationship. But because we've got that pain, we might not be able to see the forest from the tree. So we need to be able to face our wounds. We need to be able to heal those. And for example, in the world, how this could be popping up is that maybe there are some type of peace talk, for example, and so on. But we might not be able to actually come to a win-win type of situation. Often you will see with Chiron and Pallas Athene a kind of like an internal conflict going on, and we feel torn apart as well. And we might not see that there is someone out there with Juno, kind of like a soulmate, who would be able to help us work it through. So with Chiron and Pallas Athene, there is a lot of potential for growth, but it requires a lot of self-awareness as well at the same time. So for me, this is really exciting. This aspect is going to be around till about the 5th of August. So therefore, this is a longer period. Remember that the reason why it's actually going to be breaking is because even though Chiron is going to start moving towards Pallas Athene, so that quincunx is going to get stronger, but Juno is actually pulling away from this, and Juno is moving um, towards Libra. However, just as a side note, Chiron's next aspect is going to be a beautiful trine to Venus, while Juno is going to be receiving a trine from Uranus as well. And Venus is the natural ruler of a relationship. So I feel like actually we all have got the opportunity to heal relationships here. But sometimes that might be coming through certain type of counseling, certain type of ways of, let's say, um, maybe parties or, or somehow entertainment, going on a holiday, for example, because Venus is in the sign of Leo, right? So that's the exciting element there that we all have got the ability to heal. We just need to be able to focus on that. By the way, the exact trine between Chiron and Venus is going to be happening on the 30th. And then Juno is receiving the trine as well from Uranus, which is really much about innovation. So an innovative way to actually, an exciting way to actually fix the relationship issues what we've got. And again, it could be an adrenaline rush, a push, let's say, to travel, to do something that we haven't tried before. With Uranus, we meant to be spicing things up. So, guys, this is the weekly aspects configuration. I hope this helps. Oh, there is one other thing actually I wanted to share with you. So, because we also have got a asteroid sitting on Chiron on the day when it is actually happening. So I wanted to actually talk to you about that too. And the asteroid is called Euphemia. And if you want to check out where Euphemia is in your chart, its astrological number is 630. And this is sitting also on 23 degree of Aries at the moment. And Euphemia takes approximately about 4.5 years to go around the zodiacal cycle. Very interesting story, by the way. So the story behind her is that she refused um, to give sacrifice to Ares, who is the god of war. And basically, she got killed because of that. So that would be the story. So, and she was basically a martyr in a way. So she refused to offer sacrifices to Ares. She actually got arrested and she was tortured multiple ways. And then eventually she died from a wound sustained from a bear. Now, what I find extremely interesting here, that she makes this conjunction to Chiron, which is the asteroid of wounds. Anyway, even though she received the wound from a bear, while Chiron is more of a horse archetype. But this could actually talk to us about that there are going to be maybe some wild animals, for example, roaming certain type of cities and hurting people and so forth, maybe because of hunger and so forth. Maybe we're going to be reading news about a service animal, Juno in the sign of Virgo. Virgo represents animals that attacks, for example, someone and so forth. So I can actually imagine certain type of like stories like this. But on a personal level, what this really talks to us about, that if you refuse to deal with your pain, then basically you are kind of like, you are going to be suffering. And remember that she got locked up and then she was tortured. So this is very much about, for me, this constellation is about you creating your own prison. And obviously, again, because of certain type of fears, because we don't want to be tapping into of who we are. So, guys, if you have got Euphemia roaming in your natal chart, do let me know. Its astrological number is 630. And often it appears in people's chart who plays the role of the martyr or to become rebellious, kind of like becoming rebellious and not wanting to make more sacrifices in their lives. So thank you very much, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.